I will come out of the slideshow view and go to some articles. So these are authentic sources from which I have pulled. Like Coursera is actually a company which sells courses online for different like almost any field you ask, Coursera का एक course होगा ही उस particular field में. They have taken this thing by pay scale, who did a very wide survey on how experience affects the data scientist salary and so on. So you see, like average national today of like this survey was conducted in 2025. So average national salary is around this, and then as you progress, you are seeing a steady growth in the numbers. This is just based on the historical data of uh, the field as it has evolved from in the last 5-10 years. Now, what I would like to tell you is these numbers are median. So if you are actually going further into a particular field in niche, like if you are trying to specifically work on chatbots, or if you are specifically trying to do facial recognition or medical imaging diagnostics and so on and so forth, the numbers are different. Numbers look high. The numbers over here are reflecting on median basis. Like if you are knowing only data science, only some specific algorithms related to, let's say, random forest decision trees and stuff, this is it. But if you are trying to think in a way that I can also use generative AI in this, or I can also bring in my own take of how this particular loss function or objective function can be changed, so on and so forth. That is, you take the extra mile in order to understand the problem and come up with niche solutions for those problems, then the numbers even look higher. So similarly, the here you can see the event histogram as plotted by the pay scale research team. And what I wanted to also show you was, yeah, there is this field wise break. You see, no, not this. Yeah, this is the skills that you are looking at in data scientists, which are required in the industry primarily. Now, if you are very specific in one particular field and go into detail over here, then it would be even more like the numbers that are looking even over here, they will even be more than what you see. So let me also open up this thing. Yeah. Now this is a little old. It is from 2023, but I would still want to show this to you because the numbers still look good and very close to what the real market is. So it was observed that this was the trend in 2021 in the second quarter. There were around 21,500 open job roles. In 2022, there were around these many. In 2023, there were around these many. You see, the number has been steadily increasing, and it will continue to increase at least in the coming few years for different reasons. Now, let me come back over here and talk about the reasons also. So, the jobs that are coming over here are definitely Indian companies are coming up and they are trying to do things, but many policies that are happening in the US are actually not employee friendly, immigrant friendly, because of which their jobs are also coming over here, and they pay pretty well. Companies are opening up global corporate centers in India, and these are creating a lot of jobs in the data science field. There is a need for outsourcing in US because of certain policies like H1Bs being so costly for new hires and stuff. a lot of the companies are starting to think in the direction that we will keep we will try to hire talent from remote and keep them in remote locations only to save on costs and stuff. So there will be an increase in the remote opportunities also. So if the company has a physical presence in India, they might ask you to come. But if they don't, then a lot of remote opportunities are in for good. And then there is the increasing demand for skilled data scientists. As I was mentioning, data science is a broad umbrella and you are expected to know several things. But if you know one thing really, really well, then you are really a skilled data scientist. If you are very good with transformers and text based things and natural language processing, then you have a lot of scope in Gen AI. If you are very good with images and with certain family of neural networks like convolutional neural networks, vision transformers and stuff, you will be very highly sought after in the field of medical image research and image analysis and as I was mentioning, like uh, extracting attribute from images, doing visual search, like you search an image and based on that image you get suggestions, so on and so forth. You are very good in tabular data or traditional machine learning, you will be sought after in the market where they are trying to figure out where they are doing sports analytics, for example, or where they are doing what you call it credit card fraud detection and stuff. So there are these different ways and different industries that are going to require different kinds of tools. So individually you can tailor yourself based on what your interests are, what your likes are, what your acumen, technical acumen is, and based on that you can decide what suits you. Now, one thing that I want to emphasize in the midst of all this is that foundation is key. So, what I mean by this is there is a lot of hype about Gen AI, and there is this thing called vibe coding which has come up. So, essentially, what vibe coding is there are these assistants, coding assistants that are prevalent in the industry, and people are just asking, I want to do this. The assistant comes up with some code, and we have seen examples of these being deployed to production and in real world applications also. Now, that does not actually make you a data scientist or a good coder. The reason being, these assistants are often tested, the code that they give, they work for the happy path scenarios, but whenever there are certain edge cases that come, they fail very bad. And trust me, there are a lot of edge cases, small edge cases which come, and we don't want customers to have bad experiences. So vibe coding as a, practice, it is not so appreciated. If you know how Gen AI works, and if you can prompt the coding assistant to work in a certain way, then yes, vibe coding can help you in assisting you with certain tasks, but otherwise, no. So, the reason I am mentioning this over here is you need to learn the basics of data science. You need to know uh, stochastic gradient descent is. You need to know what optimization is, and that all of the uh, algorithms are at the end of the day doing optimization for a certain task. You need to know how to frame a problem as an optimization problem and what algorithm to use in order to optimize it. And you also need to know this principle of keep it simple, because we have seen that people who are not very like people are who are ignorant, they are trying to unnecessarily jack up the model size and the model parameters and so on and so forth. And that affects the cost, the scale of operation, all these things. So a problem where a logistic regression or a random forest model would have actually done the magic and would have given similar results. People are trying to use Gen AI, these Chat GPT and whatnot, and like Anthropic and so on and so forth. Now, what happens because of this is you get a lot of cost constraints, you get high latencies, you get the inability to do this on edge devices. Edge devices